Put your hands together for Azim, setting the facts straight. Too many people lean. These are comments with a conscience. Breath of fresh air, I'm tired of the nonsense. Not only does he have a gift for the jokes, but the main focus is to uplift the folks. So much laughter, he make your stomach hurt. At the same time, he gon' make your brain work. Whether you can catch him on the airwaves or catch him live on somebody's stage, it don't matter your race, religion, or your age. His gift and his love will just leave you amazed. He may say things in which you don't agree, and that's cool. It's just his philosophy. So all aboard, we promise you a good time, and he never leave you bored. We may not be on the same accord, but not getting this knowledge is something you can afford. Just have a good time, no wrong, no right. I think they ready, Azim, pop up on the mic. Just have a good time, no wrong, no right. I think they ready, Azim, pop up on the mic. Just have a good time, no wrong, no right. I think they ready, Azim, pop up on the mic.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Look, it's your boy Azim, man. Glad to be here with y'all. It's bringing me a lot of pleasure, man, to have this first and inaugural guest on the I'm Just Serious podcast. We had a little bit of technical difficulty this morning, but you know what? As the people in the church say, God will not be moved. And I'm just so excited to have this young brother that's on here. He is a phenomenal young man, a talented spirit who has done so much for his community, who has helped develop other people. And I had a pleasure of meeting him, man, over 12 to 14 years ago when he was in Morehouse College. He was down there dropping some bars on stage because he's also a phenomenal poet and MC. And everything that he does and puts together is to motivate and elevate people in their everyday lives. So, ladies and gentlemen, because he's super busy, I have to make sure that I get him on before he has to go, probably getting his Learjet. But he definitely is a person that you're going to see more and more of on big stages. He was recently on MSNBC. He was also talked about as one of the most influential people in politics today. Ladies and gentlemen, our councilman from Ward number 7 in Cleveland, Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome my friend, Basheer Jones.
How about I just unmute myself, huh?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit, you know, every now and then. You're too young not to know how to operate that phone.
I'm honored to be here with you, big bro, man. I'm one of your biggest fans, and I just love you so much, tremendously, you and your family, and I'm honored to be here with you, man. You took me back with that intro, man.
Yeah, I was wondering who dropped those verses on there. It sounds like Basheer Jones.
Yes, sir, man. I remember when you first got started with the podcast.
Yeah, man.
I was so honored that you asked me to be a part of it, man. So I love it, man. I love it.
Well, man, you know what? I could never change that because for what you've done for me and just what you do with the art of the culture of hip hop, I think it's absolutely beneficial and blessings to me, man, to be able to know you firsthand and to be able to share people's opportunity to get to meet you. So,
wow.
So tell me, brother, you know, what took a man from Morehouse College, alumni of Alpha Phi Alpha as well, you know, even though, but anyway, what took a man of your stature? You know, I got to take it that, but you know, I understand A5, you know what I'm saying? So I hear you. So what took a man of your stature, man, to say, you know, I want to do and serve my people in the format of politics?
Well, you know, big bruh, and you know, man, I've been doing this work for a while, even prior to Morehouse, and it's imperative that we, you know, Malcolm X, he said, you either at the table or you're on the menu. Our Imam, Malcolm X, Malik Shabazz. And I was tired of being on the menu, man. Here in my city, you know, protesting is cool and, you know, speeches are fine, but we have to be in a position of power to be at the table when the legislation is being created, when the pies is being cut, the slices is being given away. If we're not there, our people going to continue to get the bad end of the stick. So that was it, brother. I had to do something a little bit different, take it to a different level. And man, we've been doing some phenomenal work. And as you said, you know, this election happening today, been on MSNBC, NBC Nightly News. Everybody's talking about Ohio and these other swing states. And I just been blessed to be able to give my perspective. And like for people to even care about what my perspective is really, truly, man, a mercy from God. And all praise is due to the Creator, man.
Indeed, indeed. Now, let me ask you this, because I was watching last night and this morning where they were talking about how pivotal Ohio is to this election. Can you give us just a brief description of or idea of how imperative it is that Ohio gets out and votes?
Man, not only is it imperative, I feel like it's an obligation.
Mm.
I feel like it's an obligation, man, that we get out and vote. And for those who don't, I just can't stand people just complain. Things is not changed. It's like, well, what are you going to do? What are you doing?
Right.
Like at some point you have to ask yourself, where do I fit in to make this world a better place? Mm-hmm. And complaining ain't going to do it. And by the way, voting is not going to do it all in itself. But voting is a tool.
Yeah.
Voting is a tool. I was talking to one barber who said that he wasn't voting. And I said, well, brother, I want you to understand that voting's a tool, just like your clippers is a tool. In the hands of the wrong person, you ain't gonna have a lot of customers because
at all
you don't know how to cut.
Yeah, ain't nobody wearing no shag.
Right, no chili bowl, man. So when it comes to voting, it's the same thing. That's a tool. It doesn't stop there. It just begins there, and then you hold people accountable. But I can take you to places in my neighborhood right now that would not be there if I was not in position. So as I tell my people here, we're going to knock this presidential election out, and then we're going to get to these local elections, which is happening next year.
See, and for me, that's one of the big things that stands out to me is, a lot of people are talking about not voting. And I know when I started out early, I grew up on Malcolm X and listening to him talk about the ballot of the bullet and things of that nature. And at one point, he wasn't big on voting, but then he started looking at things on a local level. And to me, that's where voting really becomes imperative. And you being a councilman in Cleveland, in a city such as that, and doing the phenomenal work that you're doing in the Hoff neighborhood, even revitalizing it and bringing in new, I believe, new homes to the area and things of that nature. Can you tell me how we can make our local officials be held accountable? And I notice a lot of people, because a lot of people don't even have knowledge of who the people are in power or in positions that are of service to the community, yet they're on the ballot, and I think people pencil in A, B, or C just out of embarrassment because they really don't know their local politics. So can you speak to that a little bit?
Right. We know our local entertainers. We know our national entertainers. We know what movie is coming out. We know when the new Jordans is coming out. We know when that unemployment check is supposed to hit. We know. Yeah. So we know what we want to know. But Dr. King said that there's nothing more dangerous than a person that is conscientiously ignorant. There's nothing more dangerous than a person who don't know and don't care to know. So, and people have built a whole career on people's ignorance. And conscious ignorance, because if you wanted to know, you can know. And if you think that your local politician is only in charge of making sure that the garbage cans are picked up, then you are unaware of the power of politics. There's no business without politics, and there's no politics without business. So while some of my people call about a branch being falling on their garage, somebody else may call about the multi-million-dollar deal that's coming to the neighborhood, coming to the city. So people have to want to know. But when you're in a state of survival and you're just trying to eat tomorrow, sometimes our priorities can be focused on short term and not on long term. So to everybody out there tuned in, whether you vote or not, politics is still going to affect your life. It's going to affect your life either way it goes if you live in America. Matter of fact, if you live in any country, there's a politics. Matter of fact, there's politics happening at your church. There's politics happening at your mosque. There's politics taking place at your job. Who got hired, who didn't, who got a raise, who didn't. All of this stuff is politics.
Right.
right? The art of compromise. So just because it's a language you don't understand, don't mean it's not a language that's being spoken. So you gotta become, I'm not saying fluent, but you need to be able to speak the language if you are striving to grow in your life and have more power in your life. And you have to know who is in charge of making sure your streets are paved, or making sure that the blinking lights, or the fact that this street got speed bumps and this street don't. What
Right.
stores open, what stores get closed, how many liquor licenses is in your city, in your community. What school gets funded, what school doesn't get funded, right? All these things, what garbage cans get picked up, which garbage cans get left away, who do you call when there's a problem, right? And how do you make sure that you're calling the right people? All of this is politics, man. And I'm gonna just say, whether you think it's important or not, don't take away from the fact that it's affecting your everyday life.
Right, because it's definitely going to affect your everyday life. I mean, the thing for me is, I definitely want to know about my local politics, because I got a neighbor right down the street that I want to absolutely just go on and move the car myself, because I don't like to see the car on the bricks. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying. But I'm gonna need that, and so many people in our communities, man, really don't realize what's going on. One of the other questions I wanted to ask you about was, in particular, how so many people want to be able to do this. And now of course we got this election coming up alongside this whole big Black Lives Matter push, which I don't really like to call it Black Lives Matter. I like to call it, isn't it obvious? Because Black Lives Matter, a lot of times people don't realize that it's a whole group of people that ain't even black that's behind that agenda. And so even making that, but nonetheless, you got people in my neighborhood that got Black Lives Matter signs out that I flat out know the only reason why they got it up there is because they trying to use it like the blood of the lamb to prevent some vandalism from coming to their door. So the fact of the matter is, how do you think that we can actually make a change in our community right now with the situations that we're dealing with as it relates to getting people and getting our agenda actually on the platform to be addressed?
Mm, mm. Very powerful question. Mm. I tell people, if you're focused on what's happening in DC and not focused on what's happening next door, your priorities is messed up. Your priorities is messed up. If you don't even know your next door neighbor's name, you don't even have a clue of what's happening on your block. You don't even have the foresight to organize on your block. How are you going to make a change in DC? So I tell people to stop looking so far and look within. Look within. Look what's happening in your house. Look what's happening on your block, on your neighbor, and then it grows from there. President Obama, he had this thing called the snowflake effect. One person knows 10 people. 10 people can reach 100, so forth and so on. And that's how we have to look at it. We have to look at it in the micro level and stop looking at it in the macro level. Because if you look at it in the macro level, you're going to get discouraged. You're going to be like, man, look at what's happening in Nigeria and Somalia, and look what's happening in France, and look what's happening in Switzerland, and look at what's happening in Russia. Oh, look at what's happening in New York. Look at what's happening. You're going to get discouraged and thinking that, wow, man, nothing I can do can make a change. But if you start looking at, man, I help my next door neighbor. I watch my next door neighbor. I make sure that, the people on my block knows about the issues. And then what does it do? It spreads from there. So then now you go from having influence on your block, then having influence on other people's block, because your next door neighbor got a cousin that live across town who's going to tell the person across town, look at what we do on our block. We take care of our block. So it happens like that. One person can reach 10 people. 10 people can reach 100. 100 can reach 1,000, so forth and so on. So what people have to do is stop looking so far and start looking within and start making a change where you are. And once you start making a change where you are, just like a pebble that goes into a river and leaves indignation, it leaves ripple effects within the water. That's the same way that the work that you do. Look, I'm in Cleveland, and I done made it to, Azim's podcast.
Hey,
Off the work I'm doing in Cleveland. I made it to NBC Nightly News. MSNBC, BBC World News. They want to hear in London what I'm doing in Cleveland. So that just shows you start making a change where you are, and then from there it's gonna move out. It's like a ripple effect.
Man, I'm so glad that I'm so glad that you brought that up, because that's one of the big things about you that stands out to me. So many of our youth really don't realize that they are leaders beyond their wildest imagination. You know, like you said, they know the stars, they know the entertainers, the ball players, but some of them are actual leaders. Take, for example, Killer Mike, who's doing a phenomenal job in reaching out beyond just hip hop. You being a hip hop artist as well, which a lot of people don't know. The fact of the matter is, how do you feel that hip hop as a culture, it has the ability, if any, to help change and transform our youth in being able to have a better understanding of really what's important and those social issues, and how those two things can absolutely tie themselves together?
I mean, what genre of music has had a greater impact than hip hop? Not one genre of music has had a greater influence and impact than hip hop. Hip hop is the voice of the unheard when it's used in its rawest form. But when you have an industry that's ran by people who are not from that community, and you have customer base that's not from that community, then our struggles become theatrical. Our struggles are put on the world stage and is made to be entertainment. But now you're seeing this influx of consciousness that was already a part of the beginning. It was already a part of the beginning, but now you're seeing the consciousness. Now people who talking nonsense is like, man, that's whack what you talking about, man. Anybody, like, people are becoming more conscious, man. So I love it, man. I think that hip hop has the ability. I mean, look at how hip hop is being used in South Africa and Japan and China. I mean, you and I, we've traveled overseas, we've been to other places, and you see the impact of hip hop in other countries. So hip hop has that great dynamic to be able to rap stands for, in some circles, revolution in progress. You know what I'm saying? It stands for, revolution in progress, or or rhythm and poetry, right? But rap has a way of speaking to the heart of the person, man. And then with social media, really allowing us to touch the whole world, our message gets out even faster. So now you don't have to have this, like, like this deal. You don't have to have a contract to spread your message and get your word. So we're in some, but then again, right, there's also a negative with that, that now your message is like, on 1,000. So whatever you say, you're gonna be held accountable for, man. That's why I'm very careful about what I put out, what I say, man.
Yeah, man. Speaking of that, man, that's one of the things that I love about you, is no matter what, whatever you put out, man, it's something that's like a seed being planted, man. That's gonna help things grow and help wonderful people come out of it, man. And so I know your time is short, and I know we have you got a lot of extra interviews that you got to do today. But it wouldn't be right if Mr. Basheer Jones wasn't out here to be able to bless us with an awesome verse, man. So I got a little something over here that I want to put in and just let you vibe to it. See what you think.
Oh man, let's go, man.
Would you bless us with it?
Oh, you already know it. You already know it. Hopefully there's no lagging in it, but let's try it out.
We gonna pray for it.
Yeah. Okay. Am I sounding okay?
Yeah, you sounded perfect. Yeah.
Listen. The breath of God is my spirit. That's why you inspired when you hear it. Give like my mother, stingy like my father. Their connection, it brought about a man like no other. With my grandmother's intelligence, killing instinct of my grandfather make nonsense irrelevant. Yeah, I got a pinch of W.E.B. Malcolm X, Nat Turner runs all through me. Muslim version of Dr. King, consciousness of Marvin Gaye, but hey, I can't sing. But I am Sam Cooke. Change coming is here. Take a look. Music tricks our girls to want to be Barbies. So I remind you of your history like Garvey. Marcus to the heartless. I'm Marley. Bob, fight for your rights. I'm my mother and father's mixture. Spirit of Harriet. I'll come back if I missed you. They say I got an old soul, but too young to retire. I want heaven, but don't have the credentials required. So I spit like I'm the sickest. Give like I'm the richest. They've been robbing our girls' minds to argue about who the thickest. We come from tribes. That's why we so cliquish. We go to jails and cemeteries the quickest. I'm cocky like a Black Panther, mentally cocked and loaded. People want to make a change, but their soul has eroded. They want to see the signs, but the signs, they are coded. But how can you stop the spirit of Tupac? I'm the new Shaka. Not Silk, but Zulu, bringing the truth to you. The world trying to fool you. I got the spirit of a Zulu, locked up but still free like H-Rap and Matulu. Funny, with a purpose like Cosby. I rep for the brown like Bobby Seale. Under pressure, I chill when they shooting. The ox causing ruckus like Newton. Not the dude who called what existed gravity. I'm talking Huey P. That's why they mad at me. I leave a legacy like Nina Simone. I ain't the next Malcolm, I'm the first Basheer Jones. Leave a legacy like Nina Simone. I ain't the next Martin, I'm the first Basheer Jones. This is the truth.
My man. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all better put your hands together for the truth. Basheer Jones.
Oh, man.
Hey, Basheer, man, listen, we got to get together, man. You know I'm going to send you out some of this struggle gear because you got to have that. And, man, I want to thank you so much for everything that you're doing for our people, for our community at large, man, and inspiring the youth to be bigger and better than what our society sometimes wants to offer. So, man, thank you so much. And we looking forward to seeing you again real soon, man.
Hey, man, Azim, thank you, man, for being consistent in your work, man, for bringing smiles and light to us on our darkest days. Thank you for being consistent, man, what you're doing. We can never downplay the importance of laughter. And, you know, Bismillah, every time you do it, man, because I truly believe that every time that you make somebody laugh and make them feel good, that's a source of blessings, man. So always start off with Bismillah, man, so that could be put on your spiritual put it on your spiritual scale, man. So I love you dearly, man. You one of my big brothers. And anytime that you need me, I'm always here. Please, man, let me send my peace and love to my sister. And I'm so happy for you, man, and your growth and all that you're doing, man. You're one of our OGs, man. So I love you, brother.
Man, love you too, good brother. God willing, we're going to talk soon, man.
Yes, sir. Salute, right. Salam, man. Yes, sir.
Salam. Hey, another round of applause for my man, Basheer Jones, y'all. Indeed. Listen, you can find out more about Basheer Jones by going to his Instagram at Basheer J, BASHEERJ. Make sure y'all do that. And of course, while we was talking, I know I mentioned something about struggle gear. Just so happens that that's the clothing line that I now have created, and was created to help people realize that no matter what the struggle that you're going through, struggle is essential as a part of life. You can't have a victory without struggle. You can't have a trial without a triumph. But in order to have that triumph, you've got to go through something. So make sure you stop by and pick something up. That's struggle-gear.com. I normally say hyphen, but then, you know, somebody thought that was a dance move from Oakland. So make sure y'all just go ahead and grab that. But look, I just want to tell y'all, man, no matter what, make sure you're going out there to vote. If you know somebody, make sure that they get out there and get their vote on, because we have to make sure that our people are getting out there voting. And when I say our people, that means everybody. That means we got to get all of them out there to vote. If you have voted, man, I think one of the big things is tell somebody who you voted for. I know a lot of people don't like to do that, but I'm all about letting you know who I voted for, because when you voting for somebody, man, that's letting them know that you got their support. I ain't gonna tell you I ain't got no Tupac, you know. So I'm gonna tell you who I'm voting for, flat out. And when I do that, that's how you make it happen. That's how you make it happen every single day. So I think that's one of the biggest things that we need to do. A lot of people don't see it as such, but it's extremely important, man. I know for myself, my wife and I, we made sure that we voted. I voted early. You know what I'm saying? I voted early because at the end of the day, I wasn't gonna have a issue. And she was one of those people that she wanted to vote like when she wanted to vote, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and do my thing. So what I ended up doing, man, is I voted at a very special booth, but I had a very crazy situation kick off. So um, I just want to make sure that y'all get a chance to see what I actually dealt with, man, that particular day. So, we gonna see if we can make it happen here. This is disrespectful, man. I'm voting. It don't matter how much longer I'm taking. But you ever thought I was dyslexic? I need some time. I'm working on this.
Don't even worry about it. I
ain't gonna worry about it.
Ooh, Lord, I vote for me.
I know the hell you did not come in here and use the bathroom while I'm in my voting booth. That's just damn respectful. And you ain't wash your hands. Oh, no.
Excuse me, sir. How much?
So yeah, man, you got to get out there, man. I mean, hey, I voted in my bathtub. I sure did. I voted in my own damn bathtub, and I felt good about it. I felt good about it. You know, a lot of times people don't realize, but that's kind of stuff you got to do. But I don't know. Some people went out there to decide to go out and vote the damn day. I don't understand that, people. If the line gonna be all the way down the street, why on earth would you actually try to go out there and vote today? You had over 17 days that you could have went and voted early. But some of y'all treating this like it's Black Friday or Cyber Monday. Get yourself together. Hey, but look, I want to thank each and y'all for coming out, man, and supporting my very first podcast for this year. It's going to be something new every single week. We're going to have a lot of great artists out here, a lot of great comments and talks and topics to talk about. So make sure y'all join us, man, right here. You can subscribe on my YouTube channel, Azim Comedy TV. You can actually go onto my website, azimcomedy.com, and make sure you subscribe. Also, you can go listen to the podcast and subscribe there at I'm Just Serious. So anybody that know me know that's how we roll. So again, man, I want to be thankful to our special guest today, Basheer Jones, for coming out and joining us. And I want to thank each and every one of you all for coming out. But seriously, tonight, man, all I'm gonna tell you is shut your doors, close your windows, and sit on the floor, because tonight, man, we don't know what's gonna happen, man. What's gonna be like if we got 4 more years of Donald Trump, if we gonna end up with 4 years of Joe Biden, because I think even with the Joe Biden situation, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm a fan. So as it relates to that, I don't know how that's gonna turn out. I know people in politics always talk a lot, and when I grew up, if you told somebody you was politicking, people used to politic to the women, and when you was politicking, you wasn't up to no good. You was only gonna say what you needed to say for them to give you the vote. The vote. That's what you're trying to give them. And I think that's one of the big serious things that we got to look at right now, man. If I know I'm on Facebook Live right now, so if anybody's out there, just let me know what you're thinking about as far as this whole situation coming up. If you're thinking that it's going to be a better situation for us, or if you feel like it's going to be something that we can do without. But I know one thing is for sure: if we're not going out here and especially learning what's necessary for uh, local, our local government, man, we're going to lose big time. We're going to lose big time. And there's no excuses for not knowing. There's no excuses for not knowing. And so make sure that you know the people in your neighborhood, the people that are in your city hall, the people that are the judges in your area, and hold them accountable, because holding them accountable is the only way that we're going to get through this. You know, you may not be able to do nothing about who's sitting up in that White House other than knowing that you put your vote in. But, you know, just watch people, you know, because I don't know, but a couple of my neighbors, they finally eased that Donald Trump sign up in their yard the other day. They actually tried to ease that Donald Trump sign up in their yard. But I seen them. But, you know, they'll be out tomorrow. Hey, Zane, how you doing? I'm like, we good. And I don't have, you know what? I know some people I know that vote for Trump. You can vote how you want to. I just know you don't really understand Black people's situations and other people that are poor the way that you really think that you might. But that's a whole nother story, because, you know, Trump has done more for Black people than anyone other than Abraham Lincoln. See, that right there, that would have made me tear the ballot up for Trump. Even if I was down for Trump, as soon as he said, I've done more for Black people than anybody other than, hey, you telling me you Black people, and only two people that done did something for Black people been white people? Donald. Come on now. Donald. What have you, what did you do? That right there, if you wanted to vote for Trump, that should have been the one to say, okay, he might be racist. Because I don't get it. No, I don't. And if you do, please tell me, because I can't see how in the hell you sitting up there feeling like you know, he's done more for Blacks than anyone other than Abe Lincoln. Look here, y'all. That's my time. I want to thank y'all so much for coming out and joining us, man. This Humpback Tuesday, that's what I'm going to call it, this New Year's Eve for this new election that's about to take place. Again, if you haven't voted, man, get on out there and get your vote in, and we'll see you next week. Make sure y'all subscribe and go to struggle-gear.com and comp you some of this struggle gear that we love so much. Thanks again, y'all. See you next week. Peace.
Put your hands together for Azim, setting the facts straight. So many people lean. These are comments with a conscience, but the fresh air, I'm tired of the nonsense. Not only does he have a gift for the jokes, but the main focus is to uplift the folks. So much laughter, he make your stomach hurt. And at the same time, he gonna make your brain work.
My man Lou, thank you for joining us, man. I hope Trump gets beat like a drum.